Good morning, students. So, we'll start the session by recapitulating what we have discussed in the previous classes. In the previous classes, we discussed what is life, what are living organisms, and we discussed few characteristics of living organisms such as definite shape and size. We discussed about organization, growth and development, reproduction, metabolism, homeostasis. Now, in metabolism, we discuss that all the chemical reactions taking place inside the body is known as metabolism. Then we discuss metabolism is of two type: anabolism, that is building up a reaction; catabolism, that is breaking up reaction. Then we discuss homeostasis, which is body tends to maintain a constant internal environment, and this is called as homeostasis. Now we'll continue with the rest of the characteristics of living organism, in which we will now discuss about consciousness, response and irritability. All living organisms have an inherent ability to sense their surrounding or environment and respond to these environmental stimuli. Now, let me focus on what is stimuli. In the junior classes, you have already studied what is stimuli. The stimuli is all the changes that take place in the environment. For example, you are touching a hot object. That hot object is a stimuli, and in that situation, you are giving a response. You are pulling back your hand. That is a response. So every living organisms will respond to the stimuli. Is it clear? And this characteristic is known as consciousness. That living organisms are conscious. That means they will show changes. They'll show response to the changes taking place in their surrounding or environment. The visible change or reaction which an organism produces as a result of applied stimulus is called as response. So what is response? The visible change, the change which is visible, like we are touching a hot object and I am pulling back my hand. The pulling back of my hand is the response, isn't it? So the visible change or the reaction which an organism produce as a result of applied stimulus, when the stimulus is applied and due to which we are showing the changes, that change is called as response. Then irritability or sensitivity, the ability or the power of an organism to produce the response. Yes, now we are producing a response, isn't it? Just now we discussed the change which we are bringing when any due to the stimulus, that is called as response. And how we are bringing that response, that ability, that power to bring out that response is known as irritability or sensitivity. Is it clear? So try to understand the difference between response and the irritability or sensitivity. Means response is the changes when we for example, when we are touching the hot object and we are pulling back our hand, that is the response. And why we are pulling back the hand, or how we are pulling back the back our hand, that means we have the ability to respond when respond to the stimulus. This ability is known as irritability or sensitivity. Understood? So try to understand the difference between response and sensitivity. Response is the change, and the ability to produce that change will be called as sensitivity. Again, I am repeating, response is the change and ability to produce that change is known as sensitivity. For example, touching a hot object is, and after touching a hot object, and after touching it, pulling back our hand is the response, and ability to pull back the hand will be called as sensitivity. So is it clear what is consciousness, what is response, what is sensitivity? Now we'll discuss that plant and animals both respond to external stimuli. How? I'll give you an example. Now let me discuss about touch me not plant. Now as we touch the leaves, it shrinks. So that means plants also show respond to the stimulus, isn't it? Even you see the sunflower head turning, it turns towards the sunlight. So these all examples shows that plant also respond to the stimulus. Similarly, animals also respond to the stimulus. Just now I said that when we touch a hot object, we pull back our hand. If something by accidentally pricks into our leg, then we simply pull back our leg. So both plants and animals both respond to the stimulus. Now the degree of response is different in plant and in animal. In animal, the response is quick, but in plant, the response is not as quick as in case of animals. Now, humans are slightly different from all the other animals. Why? Because humans have the ability to they have the ability to of self consciousness. They have the ability of self consciousness, means that they are the only organism who are aware of themselves. Those who are aware of themselves. We are the only organisms who are aware of themselves. We think about ourselves, we are conscious about ourselves, and this is known as self consciousness. So human beings are self conscious. They are self conscious. They have self consciousness, and that is why humans are different from the other animals. Now let us move to the next characteristic, that is healing or repair. Now let me give you an example. If there is a fracture in your hand or in any part of your body, what happens? After some time that fracture gets repaired, isn't it? Your bones get joined and your fracture get repairs. Similarly, if there is a wound, then what happens? The skin of that wound gets repaired automatically. So this is a unique characteristic of living organism, that living organisms can heal and repair themselves. So let me explain what is given in this slide. All living organisms heal their wounds or repair the broken parts. For example, the fractured bone rejoined by local growth and repair, the skin around the wounded areas grow. Is it clear? So this is the unique characteristic of living organism, that living organism can heal and repair their damaged parts. Is it clear? Now let us move to the next characteristic, that is excretion. My dear students, I think everybody knows what is excretion. Excretion is a process of removing harmful waste products from our body. Now the question arises, from where these harmful waste products are produced. Now, in the previous session we discussed metabolism, and due to metabolism various harmful products are produced inside our body, and these harmful products are toxic elements. If they get accumulated inside our body, it is going to harm our body. So these toxic elements need to be removed from our body. And how it is removed? It is removed by a process called as excretion. So excretion is another important characteristic of living organisms. Is it clear? So let me read what is written in this slide. Useless and harmful waste product produced as a result of metabolisms are thrown out of the body of living organisms. This process is called as excretion. I discussed right now. Animal usually excrete the nitrogenous waste product in the form of urine. Isn't it? In grade 10, during the life process of excretion, we discussed that humans generally release nitrogenous waste like urea, uric acid in the form of urine, whereas plants, this also we discuss in grade 10, plants, they store the waste in the old parts like bark and old leaves, and when this bark and leaves they fall down, the waste is thrown out of the plant's body. And sometimes they also release the waste in the forms of gums and resins. So this is how plants also releases, they remove waste from their body. So that means all living organisms remove waste from their body. So this is another important characteristic of living organism. So my dear student, till now we discussed many characteristics of living organism. Like we discussed that living organisms have definite shape and size, that is why they are called as morphous. Then we discussed that living organisms show organization, means the body is organized into various organ system, and all the organ system, they organize, they work in coordination for the body. Then we discuss about growth and development. Growth and development takes place due to cell division, cell elongation and cell differentiation. Then we discuss about metabolism. Then we discuss about, in metabolism we discuss about anabolism and catabolism. So these are the two types of metabolism. Metabolism is series of chemical reaction taking place inside the body, and anabolism is the building up chemical reaction, whereas catabolism is the breaking up of chemical reaction. Then we discuss about homeostasis. That means the body has the tendency to maintain a constant internal environment. Then in this class we discuss about consciousness, we discuss about response, we discuss about sensitivity. We discuss there is a difference between response and sensitivity. Response is the change which is shown because of the stimulus, and sensitivity is the ability to produce that change. Is it clear? Then we discuss healing and repair. All living organism has the characteristic of healing and repair. And lastly we discuss excretion, that is to remove waste from the body of the living organisms. So few more characteristics are left in this chapter that we will discuss in the next session. So I am winding up the sessions. Thank you. Have a wonderful day ahead.